person who loves cats. I never meant to get so fat, but here I am despite what's done. So let's get into this and have some fun.
Meow meow. Kind of realised that I look a bit like a floating head. Anyway, quick video. I'm looking over at my computer because the info that I need is on the computer. So I just wanted to do a quick video about what I eat in a day. Now, obviously it changes every day. Yesterday's daily food intake is kind of pretty typical of a normal day when I'm at home. So for example, Sunday was different because I was at my sister-in-law's for Mother's Day and with my mother-in-law. So I did eat differently on Sunday because she was cooking. So let me give you yesterday's. Yesterday's is pretty much the same as today's, so I'll give you yesterday's because I was actually quite astounded by it. I don't like counting calories. No one does, do they? But I don't like it. But I'm keeping online, using an app, a log of the food that I'm eating and the calories that are in it because I don't trust my own judgment anymore. Because sometimes I fear that I'm going to get into a place where I think I'm doing well and I'm not. For example, I never realised that salmon was so high in calories. Well, I mean, it's not high, but it's higher than something like tuna. I think it's still a little less than chicken. I'd have to check that out. But I've tried to cut some of the meat out of my life because it is higher in calories and it's not something I particularly crave. I'm very happy having fish and having vegetarian options. So not having cheese, so that kind of knocks out some of the vegetarian options that I would like. So I'm basically trying to keep as low on the carbs as I can. So I'm not having obvious carbs, things like sugar, biscuits, cake, crisps, bread, potatoes, pasta, rice. Those things at the moment I'm trying to avoid. Now when I say I'm trying to avoid it, I'm talking about most days. So if I were to go out say on Sunday and to a friend's house for lunch and they cooked curry and rice, then I will have some rice. Okay, so I'm not being like completely anal about it because one of my biggest things is portion size. So I'm absolutely all the time trying to make sure that I eat small to normal portions because what I was eating previously was definitely not normal. So yesterday, again, I'm going to try and make this quick, so let me get on with it. Yesterday for breakfast, I had one of the little ambrosia porridge pots. I absolutely love them. They feel like a real treat. I love the taste of ambrosia rice pudding. And the ambrosia porridge has got that very similar ambrosia-y type taste. Absolutely love them. They're very, very filling. They're very substantial. They're quick and easy. 1.5 minutes in the microwave and boom, you're done. They're not expensive. Some supermarkets have got them on sale 5 for a £5. Other ones, they're like £1.10 a pot. But I think for breakfast, that's okay. So there's 193 calories in that porridge. So obviously it does have carbohydrate in it. Yep, I get that. But that's what I have for breakfast, okay? And then lunchtime yesterday, I had an Asda coleslaw mix. So this is one of those make your own coleslaw bags, okay? And I had with it tuna steak in brine and I had the whole tin. So it's one of the little tins. Okay, so the coleslaw mix, when I actually looked at it, I thought, oh no, this is really naughty. It's got a ranch style dressing sachet in there. And it's also got a sachet of little crunchy, they were kind of almost barbecue-y type flavour things to sprinkle on top. So I looked at the calories and it said serve 2, but it is just chopped up vegetables other than this ranch dressing. So I had the whole bag, 200 calories, okay, for the bag. Mixed it up with the ranch dressing. I put the crunchy things on top, and I had my tuna steak. It was a massive lunch, but it was really lovely, really enjoyed it. So that lunch was a total of 384 calories. It was 184 for the tuna, 200 for the salad. That includes the ranch dressing. I took the calories from the back of the pack. Then, in the evening, you guys are going to think this sounds disgusting, but it's actually really nice. Had some iceberg lettuce that had been sat in the fridge, really neglected and unwanted for about 2 days. I don't know why I've got such an aversion to lettuce, because I actually really like it. Anyway, I thought I need to use this lettuce. So I had some smoked haddock. Now the smoked haddock, they also come as they're frozen for steaks. They're only about this big. So I cooked them in foil in the oven. I could have poached them. If I do it again, I'm going to poach it. But I did them in the oven. So no added oil or anything. I had those, took my leaves, whole leaves of the iceberg lettuce. So I had the fish and I had the lettuce. I sprinkled a little salt and pepper on the lettuce. And then I just basically spooned some of the fish into a lettuce leaf, rolled it up and ate it. It was absolutely delicious. It was so tasty. It was really lovely. And that meal was, now the app says 50 calories for the lettuce. That seems a bit excessive to me, but anyway, we'll go with it. And the smoked haddock was 225 calories. Okay, so that was tea time. Then after tea, not straight after, but maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I was a little bit hungry. So I had, they're absolutely delicious. I'm looking to see if I've got one here, and I don't. There's a yogurt company called Coconut Collaborative. If you can find their stuff in your supermarket, that is absolutely gorgeous. They do these little, they're about this big. They look like the pill pots that you get in a hospital. They're really tiny, and they're chocolate. What are they called? They're called choc pots or chocolate pots or something. And they're basically a kind of coconut-based creamy dessert. They're not moussey. They're really, really thick and creamy. And they're very chocolatey, and they're lovely, and they're 90 calories. I don't want to say they're filling because they are really tiny, but they do take the edge off. And they're just enough for a chocolate hit. So I had one of those, and I also had a portion. So I get the ones that you put in the fridge, the sliced mandarins in their own juice. I know you can buy them in a tin, but you can also buy portion-sized ones in little plastic pots with a lid that go in the fridge. I had one of those. So the choc pot was 90 calories, the mandarins were 60. Then throughout the day, I had a number of cups of coffee. I prefer to have coffee with the Nestle Coffee Mate in it than I do milk. So I included all the, it calls it creamer, that I had in my coffee yesterday. It says 160 calories, but then again, I think that's a bit excessive. It's about 20 calories a cup, and I didn't have 8 cups yesterday. But anyway, we're going to go with what the app says, so that's that. The total yesterday was 1,162. Now, I was really, really surprised at that, because I thought that I would be around 1,500, maybe 1,600. I really didn't think it would be that low. I've gone back, I've checked it, I've double checked it, and as far as I can see, unless anyone wants to enlighten me, which I'm quite open to, because I'm quite open to being wrong, but that's what it comes to. Today I'm having more or less the same. I've had ambrosia porridge for my breakfast. I had 1 cup of coffee then, I'm just drinking my second one now. And I've also had a little choc pot. And for my lunch, I had iceberg lettuce with some tuna steak. For my dinner, I've got another one of those coleslaw mixes. They were so delicious. They were really, really lovely. It's just a load of shredded vegetable in a bag. It looks like a salad, and the little sachet in there of, it's like a yogurty sort of ranch dressing, and you just basically mix it all up. So yeah, I'm gonna have that for my dinner. I've got more smoked haddock, so I'm gonna have some of that. I am a bit of a girl who kind of goes, oh, I love smoked haddock, and then I eat it 5 days straight, and then I don't eat it again for another 6 months. But you know, we just go with it. Or I might have salmon, but the salmon is substantially higher. It's about 200. It's about twice as much as smoked haddock. So for 100 grams, how much smoked haddock did I have? I can't read the grams, but 225. 100 grams of salmon, which is, I think, just one salmon steak. I say just one, it should be enough, shouldn't it? Is 224, I believe. Again, I'll need to double check that, but it's definitely over 200. So I just wanted to show you what I ate yesterday, and also show you that I know that you know, those of you who are losing weight or have tried to lose weight or whatever, may understand what I'm saying when you go, oh well, I only had this and this, and that was this calories, this was that, so it's okay. And then you suddenly realise that, oh crap, I forgot to add in the mayonnaise, or I forgot to, and it is so easy to think you're doing better when you're not. But I wanted to show you that it's also easy to think that you're doing worse when you're not. Because yesterday was a good day. That was a good day. Now, that is not something, 1,162 calories, fantastic, but not something that Lizzie is going to be able to be able to say or sustain for a long period of time. So my plan at the moment is that I'm going to sustain it for when I can. So like I say, when I'm at home and I'm just doing stuff at home, and it's easy for me to, you know, going, oh, it's lunchtime, let's go and prepare my food. You know, then that's what I'm going to do. And then on those days where things are a little bit more hectic, maybe you're out all day, you need to grab something on the go, or you're invited out for a meal or to a friend's house or whatever it is you're doing, or you just go, do you know what, I really, really fancy something a little bit different tonight. Then you can do it. You know, I feel like it would be okay to do it. This is what I love about the injection, is that I don't feel like I'm restricting my diet. I can eat whatever I want. I only eat when I'm hungry. I don't eat from boredom or anything at the moment. I don't eat in between meals. I tend not to really eat past, I try to make it 6 o'clock in the evening, but sometimes it's 8 o'clock, but I don't eat past then. 11 o'clock last night, I was a little bit peckish, but I thought, do you know what? Okay, yeah, sure, I've got 300 calories left, so I could have something. And of course, the brain immediately started going, oh, you're right, you could have toast, you could have, and I thought, no, it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to bed in half an hour or an hour. We can wait until tomorrow. We have a hot drink, and then we'll go to bed. And that's what I did. So I'm not restricting what I eat, but on the days when I can, does that make sense? Then I'm going to, because I just feel like it gives me that little extra boost. So that was yesterday. I might pop on tomorrow and do today, but have a lovely day, everyone. The sun's shining. Have a lovely day and see you soon. Meow meow.